We're cycling through East London to get to St Church, which was built 230 years ago in 1792 and is one of Hackney's most prominent landmarks. We're meeting Mel, who is head gardener at St Church's 5 sites in East London. Connection and community is a word that I've heard a lot while being at Saint's Church, and it's cool to see how what you do is connected with the other parts of the church. How does it kind of all work together in like this holistic picture?
Yeah, so as you've seen, we've got the brewery, we've got the garden, so there's just like different touch points where it's like our space is used to gather people together. And the great thing with the garden is like we grow the flowers that then the bees can eat from and produce honey, so it's kind of like using our space to just create something that, yeah, just has that kind of overall ability to produce something for other people, whether that's the flowers, the vegetables, the fruit from the orchard, and then the bees making the honey. Yeah, that's just like a really exciting picture of what it is to be like, yeah, connected both spiritually but also through the land and what we produce.
Amazing. The church produces honey which is sold locally, and as scared as Josh might be right now, I think the bees are a picture of the church. Something beautiful being produced out of something local. That's how it should be. People working together to draw out all the local flavours, benefiting everyone in the neighbourhood.
There you go.
Yeah.
Eric just got stung.
Did he?
Yeah.
He didn't ask me, yeah.
Have a
But
great
he's
time.
chill. He's so chill.
Eric, are you okay?
Yeah.
He got stung. I'm definitely not going to.
Naomi is taking me to see the St Church Lighthouse project that provides free meals to anyone who needs one.
Well, I'd love to introduce you to 2 of our amazing volunteers in Chrissy and Bola.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, man. I was a bit late for the food, unfortunately. What did you cook today?
Today was a Greek stew with feta and couscous.
Oh my
I
god.
missed a good one.
Come next week.
Tell me a little bit about what Lighthouse does.
Lighthouse is Hackney Church outreach project to the people of East London, where we provide hot meals to the vulnerable.
Hot meals?
Yes.
Wow.
To the vulnerable people in the community.
Yeah, that's amazing. Obviously, over the last year, we've seen a pandemic that's affected a lot of people. Did you see the need for something like Lighthouse increase? Quite a big deal.
Yeah, massively, massively. I
There are
think
a lot more people coming than before the pandemic.
Wow. And how did you deal with the demand? Was that quite tough, or?
yeah, there was a massive increase, and I think we've shifted and changed a lot in that time. I think we were at, was it 5,000 meals?
Yeah.
And now we're at 400,000 meals since the beginning of the pandemic. So yeah,
So
there's
you've
been
provided
a huge.
400,000 meals?
We have.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it genuinely for everyone? Like anyone can rock up and
Yes.
get fed?
Anyone can come, vulnerable, marginalized people, anybody. We've seen people come in and they are not even vulnerable, they just want to have the meal.
get
So
people
anybody is
come.
welcome.
I mean, that makes so much sense, right? Like we talk about like having like an epidemic of loneliness. So you can almost understand that you're not just providing a physical need, but you're meeting a social one as well. Well, thanks so much,
Thank
guys.
you.
It's been so
Thank
helpful to
you.
talk to you and so interesting.
Lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
Cheers. And what day is fish and chips? I can't believe they've served 400,000 meals over the last year. I'm meeting Cy Nichols, who is one of the vicars at St Church, to hear more about their work in the community. So I've just been to see Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Been to the church, walked around a little bit.
Yeah.
You're doing some amazing stuff.
Remarkable things happening, yeah.
I guess my overarching question is why?
Well, I think right at the heart of the good news of Jesus, right at the message of the whole Bible is that God cares for the poor and that we who follow him should care for the poor too.
You know, we're in a garden, essentially, with a little playground in it, which is great.
Yeah.
You feed people,
Yeah.
which is great. There's also artists that have concerts in your building, which is great. And it's all good stuff, but what does it do at the heart of it? What's behind it? How does it transform the community, all of those things?
And for me, that's what it boils down to, is that the whole of life is worship. Worship is more than just our songs. Songs are great to do it together, but as we are scattered, we're sent out as a people, we live lives of worship, and for many people, we are the only Bible they're ever going to read. What story does my life tell to my neighbours, to the guy over the road from me who can't really walk properly, and so I can help him cross the road, or to the woman down the road whose husband beat her up and she's been kicked out, and actually what she really needs is some food, or to the kid who's lost his dad and needs a father figure in his life. Well, we can do all of those things. It matters.
Like I say, growing up in East London, I realised how much gentrification has hurt the local community, and a lot of people that work here aren't from London. How do you go about becoming culturally competent and building relationships with the local community?
Yeah, massive question. As a white British man living where I live, I'm in the minority, which I love. I love the diversity of our community. I love that my boy is growing up in a school that is deeply diverse, both in terms of cultural heritage and religious backgrounds. And I love that. I love the multi-flavoured thing, particularly in East London. My job as a leader is to raise up people who can speak into those communities in the language in which those communities speak. My job is not to do all the talking, not to do all the leading. It's actually to raise up other people. I think as a priest, my main job is to release people into the things they're called to do.
Finally, we're off to Hackney Church Brewco to sample some of the local beers. It's tough work, but someone's got to do it. It's cool, like, even like with my old uni mates and stuff, they normally think, you go to church, you probably don't have a beer. But actually, no, you go to church and you've got your own brewery, you know what I mean?
Every time I come in here, there are always like young kids like getting apprenticed, like learning how to like work these spaces. I think all of like, whether it's the brewery, whether it's a bakery or a coffee place, it's all hospitality, right? Like it's all serving people. And so I think as long as we keep being intentional about inviting people into these spaces, it's weird. It can almost become like one of the few places where everyone really can be. And I would say that as a church, that feels like something we're super intentional about.
Do you feel like we deserve a drink now?
I see Ryan walking with a tray. You're about to get hooked up.
I can't help but think that the church is an organisation that is flawed, broken, and has made many mistakes. But that's because the church is made up of messy and broken people. What I've seen today at St. Church is a picture of how many churches across the UK are creative, community-focused, caring for the poor, and opening their doors in new ways for people to come in and give it a go.